This is the Tempest Brolly V2. The original Tempest Brolly was a massive success. However, after using them for a couple of years and taking on board the feedback from our customers, we've decided to make some tweaks to create what we feel is truly the ultimate Brolly style shelter for the carp and specialist angler. Now, just like the original, there are also a dedicated range of accessories available for the Tempest Brolly V2, including a wrap, Skullcap and utility front. But I'll tell you about them shortly. First, let's take a look at the Brolly itself. The V2 Tempest Brolly still retains all of the features of the original, so you'll find it to be both lightweight and compact when packed down, weighing in at approximately 5 kilos without the supplied T-pegs. The key feature, of course, is the incredible speed in which the shelter can be erected, thanks to its unique opening mechanism found in all the Tempest shelters. Simply slot the poles together and fan the shelter out, holding onto the long side legs with the central block pressed against your chest. Then pull the legs towards you so they go just past the centre point before folding the handle over and locking everything into place. With the handle now locked in position, all that's left to do is to connect the tension strap and peg the Tempest Brolly out. Once erected, the Tempest shelters are extremely stable and also provide maximum internal space thanks to their external frame design. You'll also find the usual dual rod straps on the rain gutter at the front of the Tempest Brolly V2, which are there to secure your rod when changing your rigs or hook baits. Now, if we move on to the new features, the first and most important thing you'll notice will be the front edge of the Tempest Brolly V2, which features a full-length zip allowing you to fit the dedicated full infill panel or insect panel, which are both available as a separate item. The block, which is integral to the opening mechanism, has also undergone a facelift, with a sleeker look which is also marginally lighter in weight than the previous models. Now, we've also upgraded the fabric on the Tempest Brolly V2, and this new one we're using not only looks amazing, but boasts a 10,000mm hydrostatic head, which in layman's terms means it's seriously water resistant. A useful feature on the Tempest V2 bivvy system and Tempest Air bivvies has been the anti-twist pole system, and this has now been incorporated into the Tempest Brolly V2. The addition of this feature means there's no risk of the poles rotating into an incorrect position before opening the shelter, allowing for a quicker and simpler setup. As mentioned earlier, there are a range of dedicated accessories to complement the Tempest Brolly V2, and we'll start by taking a look at two accessories which have been designed to attach to the front of the shelter via a zip. First up, there's a full infill panel, which is constructed from the same highly water resistant material as the Tempest Brolly V2, and effectively allows you to quickly transform into a full fronted shelter. The full infill panel features sleeves either side of the door, allowing quick sticks to be used to give you a rock-solid setup and protection from the elements even when faced with driving winds and rain. The door itself can be zipped both ways, allowing for it to be open completely or used to create a letterbox opening, ideal for when you want to keep the door zipped up but still want to keep an eye on the water. And for times when the weather gets rough, even for the letterbox opening, the full infill is completely compatible with our clear window. Moving on, there's a new zip-in insect panel for the Tempest Brolly V2, which is constructed from our soft but durable B12 mesh and can be used during the warmer months to stop you from becoming a target for flying, biting bugs such as mosquitoes and horseflies, whilst allowing you to keep an uninterrupted eye on the water. The Tempest Brolly V2 insect panel also features clips that allow you to roll back the doors and sides during them periods when the annoying bugs are less active, without having to remove the panel completely. As with the original, there is a dedicated Skullcap available. This has been constructed from the new material, and adding one of these to your Tempest Brolly V2 has dual benefits, aside from looking fantastic. Firstly, the Skullcap gives the shelter a peak, which keeps rainfall out of the immediate doorway, and thanks to its built-in rain gutter, you won't suffer them annoying drips when you're trying to look out over the water. The Skullcap also has thermal benefits. Its addition creates an insulating cavity on the top of the Tempest Brolly V2, which helps reduce the effects of condensation and retains warmth inside your shelter. You'll also find twin Velcro rod retaining straps on the Skullcap, which take the place of the ones that are already on the shelter when they become inaccessible once the Skullcap's fitted. For those who prefer to fully twin skin their Tempest Brolly V2, there is also a dedicated wrap available, and again this is constructed from the same highly water resistant material as the other dedicated accessories. Twin skinning using the wrap creates an insulating cavity all round the shelter, which again helps to drastically reduce the effects of condensation and retains internal warmth when using the shelter. The wrap also features twin rod straps at the front and a two-way door with a covered insect panel, which can also be used in conjunction with one of our clear windows. Probably the most talked about of all the accessories available for the Tempest shelters are the dedicated utility fronts, and of course there's one for the Tempest Brolly V2. The utility front can be quickly and easily attached at the front of the shelter by assembling the front pole, attaching the clips and pulling the frame out and pegging it down, before using the supplied frame supports for the additional stability. The addition of the dedicated utility front drastically increases the internal dimensions of the Tempest Brolly V2, transforming it into a cavernous one-man shelter and even making it possible to be used as a two-man shelter when required, with room for 2 anglers, beds plus your kit. Of course, there's a dedicated ground sheet available for the Tempest Brolly V2 and one to cover the increased floor space created when using the utility front. Adding a ground sheet is a great way of keeping the cold, damp and dirt out of your shelter, and these both feature an elastic and ring pegging system to keep it taut when in place. And there you have it, the Tempest Brolly V2 and all its dedicated accessories. Now we reckon we've made the best brolly out there even better, but if you don't believe us, head over to your nearest Trakker retailer and check it out for yourself.